Beverly Hills is a study in contrasts. Here in the residential districts, the old and new stand side by side for years before the wrecker's ball tilts the scale toward progress. And while this progress is accepted and even welcomed in the residential areas, the dizzying changes in the commercial district have raised many questions. What has forced the closure of these old-time specialty shops originally created to serve this unique community? Is the real estate value gain worth the human value loss? And isn't it supposed to be the community who determines the structure and makeup of their business district? How much influence have the residents of Beverly Hills had on the reshaping of their business community? And what kind of changes are happening? What are their causes? And, more important, how are they affecting those who live and work in Beverly Hills?
My last day at the business, and the end of 3 years of hard work and 10 years of a dream. I worked at this store 10 years ago and always dreamed of one day owning it, and I did. And when I worked here 10 years ago, the store was an enormously successful store owned by Jack Friedlander. In 1987, the opportunity came up to buy Jack's Camera Exchange, which is now Trader Jim's, or was Trader Jim's. And knowing the success that we had had at the store before, I felt that I could come in and that basically everything would be in place for me to make the store a success. The city has seemed to have created a monster in the fact that they've made it very difficult in terms of trafficking, in terms of parking, in terms of being able to put your store forward out on the street in terms of signage and in terms of promotional ideas. The city tries to quell everything. The city tries to really make the community a nice, quiet, sedate, upscale community, which is something that I can very much support, but a business has to promote itself every once in a while.
I think anti-growth is very important for the residents of our community and for the business community. We have to be very careful how we grow and what quality we have in what we're doing. But there is nothing really contrary about having a slow growth or a carefully controlled growth, and are adding quality businesses, quality residents. Our city is just growing constantly in excellence because we do just that.
There should be an assessment of the needs of the community for the residents. Perhaps we should focus on what we do need, what the residents would like to have in the community, so you can meet both the business and the residential needs.
What's missing is the kind of businesses that make a neighborhood. Up and down my street, if you park on the street, you can come into the camera store. You can go have a Coke down the street or a yogurt down the street and buy clothing, boots, or sculpture. It's the problem of growth. It's a problem of growth. It's as simple as that. The city's grown. The city's outgrown the fact that this is not a little neighborhood anymore.
Parking has to be accessible so people can go where they want to go. And this is especially true for people that are locals and people that live, in and around the Los Angeles area. For them to come into Beverly Hills, it's not as novel as it is for a tourist, and the tourist is usually walking here from a hotel. They're on a tour bus or they're going to take a taxi, and the parking is not quite as critical to them as it is to the local people. And if they can't find a place to park, the local people, well, they just might go somewhere else. I have a great belief in Beverly Hills. I think it's a central location, both within the city of Los Angeles and to the tourist market that comes to the city. I also think that Little Santa Monica Boulevard is a heavily traveled area. And I studied it very carefully, myself and professionals. We studied what I guess call the demographics of it. We checked to see what kind of traffic flow goes down Little Santa Monica Boulevard. We were checking parking access. I had studies done on the amount of parking spaces in and around this immediate area, and it just proved to be an area that we felt would be successful. But I chose this particular building because we had almost an unlimited height and ceilings. If you look around, it looms to 35 feet in some areas. And because of my partner, Steve Riemann, and he designed and was the architectural space planner for this place, we wanted to create the illusion of a lot of space. So by having this amount of space and this amount of light coming in and having the visibility of the window space, both from Rodeo and Camden and from the street, we just felt that it was a very good location. But I think it's also important to keep up with what is going on, and I'm always open to new ideas, and I travel a great deal. For this particular business alone, I travel over 3 months of the year, and I think that it's something that has to be done for a business to stay viable, and especially in an area like Beverly Hills, where I do not ever underestimate the customer walking in the front door. My hats are off to them. I would say in most instances, they are more knowledgeable about what is out there than I am. Most of them have more time to shop, and they're exposed to so much. They travel a great deal. So I don't believe you can ever underestimate the client anywhere, but in particular in a city such as Beverly Hills.
There you go. I've been in business for the past 15 years. Things, they don't stay the same thing. We've been growing from a little tiny community to a large community. Mainly we become to be an international community where we have people coming from all countries of the world. I am very happy to be in the city of Beverly Hills. I don't think I would be in business in any other city. One of the things that the city is doing is keeping up with the time that it never had it before. I think for a while we fall asleep and we didn't plan anything.
All the old-time stores that are on old leases are all leaving Beverly Hills because they can't afford the rents any longer. There's not enough parking in Beverly Hills. The prices, Rodeo has gone out of sight with the prices with the stores. It's strictly a place where tourists shop. I believe that the people that live in Beverly Hills shop outside of Beverly Hills. Rudnick's is one of the few stores that the people still come in and maybe shop a little bit. And if you walk in January and you walk in March, you'll see different stores because a lot of the stores can't make it. They go in, they think they're going to do terrific because they're in Beverly Hills. They find out that Beverly Hills isn't what it's cracked up to be, and they end up going out of business. I think you're going to find that all the old-time stores have been here, they're all going to disappear, and they're going to end up in different areas of the city around Beverly Hills, and people will follow them.
What do the foreigners do here? They go to Gucci's, who's already a foreign interest. I mean, they're not frequenting the long-term population that have grown up here. We're at the back of the bus now. There's nothing the service people have other than the buildings that a foreigner wants.
I've been living in Beverly Hills since 1957, and I feel very bad that there are so many empty stores, and most of those stores served us very well, and all the nice owners are leaving because of the exorbitant rents, which was a very sad statement, because those stores were like institutions.
3 times a week I come here. They're ruining my life here. I don't know where to go from here. Coming down here every day. 30 years.
My husband Irving and I have been in it now. Our business is 50 years old this year. We've been in Beverly Hills for 38 years, and they've been wonderful, serving 4 generations of customers. We've made a lot of friends. We have some outstanding clients, and it's the end of an era. We've had the same landlord since we're here, but still we understand business, and we know they're going to have to get the tariff that they're able to get. We can't compete with foreign interests. We can't compete with national chains. Renters can't continue. There are all the wonderful people. Premier is going, and Jurgensen's, and Pioneer Hardware, and Hunter's Bookstore. All the people who have been here at least 40 years are gone now, and we're sort of the last. We're told that there will be this building going on for 2 years next door, and that'll clobber any kind of business if we were fortunate enough to sign. If we had chosen to sign a high lease, we wouldn't have had anybody come in, because you're not going to be able to park or get in the next 2 years. There's such an outpouring of love and grief that while I'm very sad, I'm also very flattered and sentimental, and I thank everybody when I sing.
We're losing more and more stores, more and more expensive ones are coming. They're going out of business. You see a lot of empty spaces, and what we need isn't there. Like Phil's or Newbury or some normal price stores. They're bringing boutique after boutique.
It was important to me to bring in stores that already had established clientele so that everything wasn't totally new to Beverly Hills. Charles Jourdan moved from Wilshire Boulevard. Tiffany, of course, moved from across the street. Valentino moved from down the street. But Christian Dior opened in their first mainland U.S. store. They had one open in Hawaii before. Cole Haan is a newcomer to Beverly Hills. This is the second store for Cartier on Rodeo Drive. Of course, all the tenants design their own interiors with their own architects. I think that the residents became more international over time, and it was the residents who first put a demand into the community for luxury goods, and then the tourists came and supplemented that demand.
I think this is beautiful. I think I've been coming here a lot of years, and I've been watching them construct, and I never knew what was behind these walls, and I used to watch people peeking through, and I had no idea it would be anything like this. Very much like Europe. It's a beautiful setting. This will only add to the whole image of Rodeo. I think this is a great plus. There's a nice frame of reference. When it's all open, it's going to be terrific. I love the way they did it.
The nicest thing about Rodeo Drive is you still have stores like this, Fred Hayman's, which is still a small boutique, a large store, but it has the small boutique flavor. And then, of course, you still have the Gucci's and the Cartiers and the Tiffany's. So we still have the old flavor of Beverly Hills, but with the new changes, I think the mixing of the old and the new is going to only benefit the Drive, and it's going to be one of the most renowned streets to shop on in the world. It is already, but it will even be bigger.
We took a ride with Bruce Meyer, president of Gary's, in one of his classic old cars, and he told us how the store related to the city.
It's gone through a few changes, a few facelifts in 60 years, but pretty much the interior floor plan is very much the same as it was then. Always had a beautiful mezzanine and kind of a Spanish look inside. Even though the structure's the same, and we put on a few new faces on the front, the interior is virtually the same floor plan. We have a mezzanine that's kind of a Spanish influence, I guess early Beverly Hills. Basically, this store has been untouched for the past 60 years and always been a family-owned store. Moving from the Myers, on down to, there was a local family, the Spilkers, that owned it before us, and then Mr. Geary, who owned it and originated the store back in 1930. As far as I know, we are the oldest specialty store still in existence in Beverly Hills. I think Livingston's might be. They've moved a couple times, but it's a real close call. But we still have maintained our same product mix pretty much, just constantly trading up. But it's Beverly Hills, and our name is Geary's Beverly Hills. We have no others. We don't have stores throughout Southern California. We have one great store with a lot of wonderful people working here. It's a real team effort. And just this last October, we purchased the building next door from Carl Schurz, whose father built the building many years ago. And architecturally, we're going to maintain the building just the way it is. We kind of wanted to get back to a kind of Spanish feeling, a substantial feeling. So when we do the building next door, we're going to maintain that feeling.
That's great.
Yeah.
You've done a nice job.
Well, history means a lot to us. There always has been a parking problem in Beverly Hills, just, perceived and real. And when they changed from the parallel parking to the from the diagonal parking to the parallel, that was like a very big event. And they didn't have any alternate parking. And then, not long after that, they decided to take the stores just south of Geary's, about 4 of them, to turn into a city parking lot. And the city wisely and strategically around the town took buildings down and made surface parking lots, which was a big solution. It was a very wise city council that took that property, because now they'd never be able to afford it.
I am concerned about the level of growth that we have and the impact of traffic. We have a terrible traffic problem right now, and I certainly don't want to see it worse. On the other hand, there has to be a balance of the interests. There has to be both growth and continued strong business community, because that does support our community. And after all, we enjoy shopping in Beverly Hills, eating in the restaurants. But at the same time, we have to do it in a way that protects the residential community. And I think we can do that. Working together, we can do that.